Thank you. We're going to jump into this conversation because Shaman Durek is going to be out at 4:30, and I'm just so excited that he's here. And I want to preface this by saying I did, during COVID lockdowns, host a show called Humanizing the Icon, which was a podcast and chat series, kind of deconstructing paradigms. What is icon? What is human? And you kind of see that it's like this endless universe. It's not what we think of it as. It's not just pop culture fame. It's not just mythology or spirituality. It is existence in and of itself and everything that encompasses. And so I want to bring you into that conversation. Thank you so much for being here.
It's an honor to be here.
So the phrase humanizing the icon, how does that resonate for you? What does that conjure for you?
So I think, a lot of times we forget that it doesn't matter what role we play in life, as long as we stay in a space of authenticity, being humble, being grateful, being honorable in the roles that we play, that it's not just about us. Mm-hmm. It's about the people. It's about the earth that we live in. And it's about holding space for the people around you to see how amazing they are and how they can achieve such greatness, and being able to understand that from such a level of true beingness, which I see as the human being, right? Because it's the collective resurgence. Whatever hierarchy world we live in, those systems have been set up to pull us apart, to create us to see that something must not be right with us because I don't have this many followers on Instagram, or I'm not this, making and living in this lifestyle, and whatever these things are that people find to be the understanding of value. Mm-hmm. Value is not found in those things. Value is found in the way in which you love, the way you hold space for someone to see the love that they have for themselves, to create a true, authentic relationship with life. Not that you're doing it because you have to people please, or you have to meet someone's expectation, or you have to meet someone's satisfaction, but you do it because you love to do it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I have a question for you that's maybe a bit personal. What roles are you identifying with currently in the present moment in your life's journey? And how is the world's perception of you in relationship with the roles that you identify with? So first, what are the roles you identify with? And then how is that outward perception?
What do you mean, like what roles I identify with?
So you said we all play roles in this human experience.
Yes, I see what you're saying. Okay. I understand. So the roles I identify with is to, of course, being Shaman Durek and showing up in the world to hold space for people in their power, and to show people the limitless expansion of what they can be and who they really are, without, forcing them or putting any beliefs on them, and just allowing them to find their own surgeons of what it means. Because a lot of times when people think about spirituality, they think spirituality means that you do this, or you take ayahuasca, or you work with crystals, or you do yoga, or you do any of these things. And to me, spirituality is about evolution, right? And so as long as you want to evolve, you're a spiritual person. It doesn't have to fit in any kind of narrative or box. So that role for me, being Shaman Durek, because the people around me in the world are constantly looking to me for that, and it's always about returning it back to them. So constantly staying humble, for one, because I'm surrounded by all these different people who, like me, write books and do all these things. But at the same time, it's not about me. It's about the person, and it's about the service, and it's about the relationship and the devotion towards being able to see a human being see their highest potential and be so loving and nurturing to themselves that that energy then carries on to another person. So that's one of the roles. The other role that I play, which a lot of people who don't know, I'm the first Black man in the royal family. So my future cousin Megan was the first one of the, I think the second Black woman in the royal family, but more prominent because of her position with Harry. And I think that people have these expectations of how I'm supposed to carry myself being in that family. And so I think the challenge has been dealing with the racism, dealing with the constant attack around the world, the press constantly, the paparazzi, my life being under scrutiny every day. Every morning I wake up, there's like horrible things written about me. You're a gold digger. You're just like Megan. I can't believe you think you deserve to be in this family. And then there's that. And then being in those echelons and watching the certain behaviors of certain people in those echelons and their racist issue towards me being in that echelon. So at the same time, having an amazing fiance and being with her and us speaking out on world issues and being able to talk to powerful people and bring into their thoughts and mind a more understanding of the collective versus I'm powerful, here's my beliefs, here's the bubble I live in, and this is the way I want to see the world, to her and I bursting those bubbles because we are at that level and realizing that spirit put us there because there needs to be a higher level intelligence insurgence into those families and into those structures. So being a shaman and always staying at that place of humbleness and kindness, of awareness of myself and how I'm serving and showing up in the world, but then also dealing with this other aspect of people driving, like I get in a car, like 4 cars following me and paparazzi everywhere, taking pictures of me while I'm just pumping gas or all this stuff. And then the scrutiny from worldwide press and all this stuff. And also knowing that a lot of it is because people don't want a Black man, because I'm the first Black man in a European royal family in the European royal family. So I think those two dichotomies are very challenging for me to but I have such an amazing fiance who's helping me navigate and amazing. Her parents are absolutely amazing, the king and queen, and they help me navigate. And it's just been a bit of a challenge for me, because I lived my life as this free spirit, who would run naked on the beach and scream and yell and, and go into these crazy parts of myself and be in the jungle and and just be me, And now I'm like this all the time, And, yes, really, the rose gardens are lovely. You're absolutely right. And then I get away and I'm playing video games, and I'm calling my friends. I'm I need some house music. I need to get out, And even when I'm out dancing in clubs, people are coming up to me and just going I can't believe you're here. Oh my God. And I'm just dude, can you just chill right now? The music is so good and this DJ's from London and
so
I just really want to
What do you think the lesson is in the bigger picture? Why are you facing this right now? Energetically, why are you seeing behind the curtain of these systems and messages?
So, I always saw when I was a little boy, I always looked at the world and said, I have no idea what this is. What is this? And of course, training in my family to be the next line shaman. And so that was very challenging in itself because I have friends who's in school who are doing their thing. And then I am at home learning how to speak to spirits and how to, use my abilities and understand the foundations of African shamanism. The core energy, I think for me, has been about being a loving interruption and creating an interruption into a system that has created separation, hierarchy, misuse of power. It is what it is, right? And being able to infiltrate that, and even the fact that my mom's half Norwegian, she told me when I was 14 years old and I was going to go skate with my buddies, and I was a kid, I was a teenager, and she's like, I spoke to the elders in Valhall, and I did the readings with the runes, and they have given me information. You can't leave the house until I share it with you. So I said, okay, Mom, go ahead. And she's like, so we found out in the future you're going to be married to the royal princess of Norway, and you're going to be part of the royal family, and the spirits have a whole plan for you. And I'm like, what? The princess of Norway? How are we going to meet? How's that going to happen? She's like, I don't know. It's going to happen, but it's going to happen. And the spirits have spoken. So go have fun. Do what you want to do. Go be with women. Go be with men. Whatever you want to do, because your path is already set up. And I'm like, cuckoo, bye, Mom. Love you. Like, I don't know what you're getting, where you're getting this from. And I blocked it out for years. And every psychic I would see, they're like, this is going to happen to you. This is going to happen to you. And I was just like, block, block, block. And then when I actually met my beloved, we were, as friends, and we were set up on this meeting date from a friend, like a blind situation. And I looked in her eyes, and all of it came in. I didn't even know still what my mom had said until all my childhood friends were like, do you remember what your mom said? And she's in your life now. And I was like, dude, I totally blocked it out. And I think my role, because she's also very on the same energy. She's sitting right there, and she's just down to earth. You can go up to her, hug her, talk to her. She's written tons of spiritual books. We're very much in sync with each other. And I think our role is to be able to speak against the lies and the deceptions and the things that are taking place, and bring a different understanding to the world of what love can be, and also what power can be, and using power in the right way that supports the people and not just the self. And I think that's why Spirit put me there.
That's beautiful. Thank you. So one of the themes of the day is sovereignty.
Yes.
Which I find to be such an interesting word.
Yes.
I find words very interesting.
Me too.
Because they're so fluid. They're not solid. They're not really defined. They're evolving too. And we infuse them with meaning, in the way that we use them and the energy we put into them. What is sovereignty to you?
So I always look at sovereignty and autonomy as a very strong principle of self, because I even deal with that in my own life, like the roles that people expect me to be by being in her family. And I'm always saying in my press conferences, like, I need my sovereignty and I need my own autonomy so that I can believe and say the things that I feel without there being someone trying to oppress me or suppress me from being able to speak those things that I believe. And I think sovereignty is about owning my own space and realizing I don't need to leave my space to go tell someone else how to be in their space.
I love that.
So, and that's why I love people so much, because you meet people and you're just like, oh my God, your space is so beautiful. And, and so when I see people leave their space, I'm like, why are you leaving this beautiful space of yours? Get back in your space, because there's a reverence there. And there's a deep reverence of recognizing, like every single person in this room, right, has something they can teach me and share with me through their lives and their life experience, that the more authentic and true they are to themselves, the more the available wisdom, knowledge, and level of experience they can share. And by them leaving their space or trying to be something that they think someone wants them to be, we miss out on that essence, that richness, And I think being a sovereign being is one who recognizes the reverence of their space and doesn't, like, I was the biggest nerd growing up in school, right? And I was bullied all the time because I was the kid who painted my nails black and wore, shoes, and I would write poetry on my shoes, and I would like set my jeans on fire and then like roll over them with my dad's car, and like do all and like spray paint it and go to school and create my own looks and sew my own outfits and stuff. And people are just like, this guy's a freak. He talks to spirits. He makes potions. He's doing all kinds of crazy things. He's talking and giving us information and stuff. And so everyone was like, oh God, here comes the witch freak, But what happened was I went home and I was crying and I was like in my room and I was crying and, and then spirit came to me and said, the only reason why they're doing what they're doing to you is because you have to own your space no matter what they do, because they're doing it because they are frightened and scared that you are different from them. So I just kept being me. And what ended up happening is I would get these people and be like, so is it true that you're training in shamanism? What's that about? And then, can I come over to your house and see like what you do and so forth? And then I'd bring them over and I'd show them like, the different rituals that we have and things that we do and whatnot. And then I became the popular guy in school because I started merging with all the different social groups. And then I became the connector for all the social groups. And then people started being like, oh my God, can you make me a pair of pants? Can you make me that cool hat? Can you spray paint and do poetry on my shoes? And I realized I don't need to change myself to make myself comfortable with another person. I just need to be comfortable in my space. And that to me is sovereignty.
Oh, that's so powerful. Okay, one more thing before you have to go.
Yeah.
In honor of Guru Jagat, who founded Rama, and you're opening Sovereignty Fest, what would be a message from her to this crowd, which is a group of artists and storytellers and yogis and kind of merging and overlapping? And what would she want to tell us?
Let me ask her. So the message that I'm getting is for people to be able to live free in their heart without the need to be affected in who they are and what they do by the need to feel that they can't be all that they can be. She's saying, the message she keeps saying again over and over right now and to me is live without rules. Like live without these boundaries. Rules in the sense of what she's saying, because she wants me to explain what that means, is where you create mental ideas of what it has to be as according to what you feel comfortable with, but get out of your comforts and seek beyond your comfort into things you would never expect yourself to do. Because life is so precious, he's saying, and you don't know when that life is going to leave. It could be today, it could be a month, it could be a year, it could be 10 years, it could be 20 years. You just don't know. And so because of that, you can't hold any part of yourself back because you have a thought in your mind that says, I would never do that, or I would never put myself into that, or I would never do, like, do everything, she says, through living fully in your heart. That's the message that she's explaining to me.
It's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, Shaman Durek.
Thank you, my love.
Yes, so much fun.
And thank you, everyone. I appreciate you, and I'm humbled to be here.
Yes.